SIHAT Medical Career System has occurred some problems on management system. Below are the listed problems shown using a fishbone diagram. The first problem is related to personnel, which is inadequate patient data. There is missing patient record and report card of patient damage. Next is inventory. Under the reorder level, there is excess in inventory, and under expired date, expired stock being down. Furthermore, on expenditure, under the payroll system, there is different allocation, salaries, and allowance for employee, and inaccuracy of overtime and shift change. When using application of living paper form, there is will missing the application form filled by employee. Besides, under the revenue, there is incomplete medical record, so that there is conflict claim in insurance from the organization and delay payment from organization to the patient.
Okay, the project scope and constraints. In this project scope, we focus on the inventory system because we wanted to change from the unsystematic system to more computerized system. So, in order to help SMC to solve their problem, we decided to develop the SAD inventory system. And we are trying to develop a system that will make it easier for SMCs to trace its inventory and also store their medicine well. Next is the constraints. There are two types of constraints, which is the first one is cost constraints. Cost constraints because SMC have to bear quite high costs in order to implement this system. And next is time constraint. We as a system analyst have to determine the critical path well, and also we have to make sure that we will not be out of track. Okay, in this project scope, there are four main things, which is must do, should do, could do, and won't do. Must do, the system must enable users to easily key in the data for their inventory record keeping. Should do, the system should be able to make it easier for the user to trace the inventory such as medicine. Could do, the system could be able to help user to trace the expiry date with the barcode scanner. And lastly, won't do, the system won't be able to generate the revenue or expenditure for the business as it is only focused on the inventory system.
Performing fact finding. 2.1 Analyze Renal Medical Centre's pharmacy organization chart. Firstly, the top level manager is the group medical director who control and plan organizational goals. Secondly, the middle level managers are the medical director and the pharmacy unit manager who work as a team to pass major decisions to top level management and goals of organization to lower level management. Finally, the lower level managers are the pharmacy assistants who work together to perform day-to-day operational activities. 2.2 Conducting interview. Before conducting an interview, there are few steps to be taken into consideration. Firstly, the interview was conducted with the pharmacy unit manager, Mrs. Kanmani Anna Perempuan Mayyapan. The objective of this interview is to obtain information on the pharmacy inventory management. Before the interview was conducted, we designed a few questions regarding the inventory management that should be asked during the interview in order to achieve our goals. The type of questions that was asked are what types of products were sold, how the pharmacy reorder products, and many more. We made many preparations before the interview session, including mental and physical preparations such as revising the interview questions and many more. During the interview, we collected sufficient amount of information on the inventory management that will help in preparing this report.
Okay, next I will talk about operational feasibility. Okay, this system will be used effectively and can help SMC to solve the problems of their old system. And we are making sure that the system is user-friendly and it is acceptable for both users and also management. And in developing the system, the user is actively involved so that it is easier for them to understand what the system is all about. This system may lead to reduction of workforce, but if we see it in a positive way, it actually can help to reduce the percentage of mistake occur. Okay, some features of our SAD inventory system is, the first one is the controlling reorder level, which is the safety stock control. In this system, users are able to track if the inventory is out of stock, and we can set how much the quantity of stock that is considered as safe. This system will have a warning system whereby the item will appear in red if it falls down below the safe quantity, and a message will pop out to show the remaining stock, so it is easier for the user to maintain the reorder level. Next is serial number tracking. In this system, we will assign a unique serial number for each of the item, and we can generate the serial number using number generator, so that we can give each of the item different and unique number. And this serial number tracking will help user to manage the entry and exit of the detail log easily. And lastly, the serial number tracking can be managed through the barcode scanner. And the last feature of our system is that the barcode system. This barcode system will help user to avoid the inconsistent stock level and can solve the problem of stock being in dump. In this system, we will assign barcode to each of the inventory, especially for the medicine that exists in the SMC. And each item will have a different barcode, and also there are a few other informations once we scan the barcode, which is the manufacturing date and also the expiry date. So by knowing the manufacturing date and expiry date, the staff in SMC can arrange their medicine well based on the expiry date. That's all.
Assessing technical feasibility is to evaluate whether the new system will perform adequately, whether an organization has ability to construct a proposed system or not. The technical assessment helps answer the questions such as whether the technology needed for the new system, how difficult it will be to build, and whether the firm has enough experience using the technology. So based on our fact finding, Renal Medical Centre used 3 different systems, and we are focused more on Prof. Doc Medical Officer for the inventory system. So there are 3 main functions of the system of Product Medical Officer. First is to record, monitor, and control the inventory. Second is key in expiry date of an items. And third, record the inventory inflows and outflows from the inventory departments. So each and every time the inventory received from the supplier, it will be directly recorded into the system, especially the expiry date. So size of the project, the team that involved in this project will be as follows. The first 3 teams of all departments are required to convince their needs into the 4th team, which is the information system departments. So the project structure, the project required a very high specification of hardware of a computer or devices. Instead of hardware, operating system of the devices or computer are also high in specification. Therefore, specification of both hardware and operating system need to be listed out as to operate the new system. So as for the hardware, Intel Core i5 or i7, hard disk 128 GB and RAM 8 GB. For the software, Windows 10, 8 or 7, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP for the server-side script. So for the familiarity with the technology or application area, this project required the expertise who are expert on using the system. If there is no expertise, those who are familiar to the system is highly recommended of being the user of the system. If there is no user who are familiar to the specific system, user that are familiar with using any other system is also can use the system, or else train of the new system for the specific user. Thank you.
First of all, for a company to decide whether to implement the system, the company will decide based on the cost and the benefits associated with the system. The company will first identify the cost, and the cost can be classified into two, which are the development cost and the operational cost. After that, the company will identify the benefits, which can be also classified into two, which are the cost avoidance benefits and the intangible benefits. This table shows the estimated cost of the system. As I mentioned just now, the estimated cost can be classified into two, which are the development cost and the operational cost. After we sum up all the costs, we get the total estimated cost of the system, which is the 381,800. After that, we will be estimating the benefits on yearly basis. As I said just now also, the benefit can be classified into two, which are the cost avoidance benefits and the intangible benefits. After we calculated all the benefits, we get a total of 140,000 ringgit per year. So there are several methods for us to identify whether to implement the system. And one of the methods will be net present value. To calculate the net present value, we will first sum up all the costs minus the present value of the benefits. So after we minus, the remaining value will be 70,840. As this figure is positive and larger than 0, so we can conclude that this system is worth for us to implement and invest. Last but not least, the method will be break-even analysis. To calculate the break-even, we have to base on the table above just now. We can see that the system will break even within year 3 and year 4. So to calculate it, we will divide the 7,577, which is the remaining cost, with the 110,893. So we will get 0.068327. So we sum out with this figure with 3 years. At last, we will get the break-even year of 3.0068327 years.
And this is our current chart. And this is the networking one. So I'm going to explain. We started it from a recruit names, duration 1 day starting 25 October 2018. And next we identify the problem. Then we define project, scope and company, duration 2, interview the pharmacy staff 1 days, review the documentation, we need 2 days, analyze the database 2 days, evaluate feasibility 2 days, review report 1 days, prepare slide 1 days, presentation 1 days, system analysis request we take 14 days, and system design 40 days, then system implementation we take for 18 days.